Coming up on Extra Credit, we visit Australia and learn how to draw a koala. Plus, our friend Kennedy takes us on a field trip to the Hindu Temple of Canton to learn about Hinduism. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Mrs. Pizzo, and I'm so thrilled you've joined us. Welcome to Extra Credit, where we meet interesting people, explore new ideas, and discover fun places together. Each episode, we introduce you to people who make the world an interesting place by using math, science, writing, sports, and the arts. Today's theme is around the world. But before we take off, let's meet our co-hosts.
Hi friends, my name is Sarayu and I'm really excited to hang out with you today. Since this is Around the World Day, it's only fair that we take a trip around the world to discover some places and cultures that we may not know. We'll start by learning a little bit of the 5,000 years of Judaism.
Vaydaber Elohim et kol ele lemor.
Hi, I'm Rabbi Ariana Gordon. I'm the Director of Education and Lifelong Learning at Temple Israel, and we are located in West Bloomfield, Michigan. We are a thriving, large, very engaged Reform congregation. We have about 3,400 families that participate and are members here. Judaism is one of the largest religions in the world. We have about 17 million Jews all over the world. Today, for our Religious Diversities Journey, Kennedy is going to be here to ask some questions about Judaism. We are so glad that you're here. I'm Rabbi Gordon, and Rabbi Bennett will join us in just a little bit, and we have so much to talk about. Come on in.
Judaism seems to have a lot of important objects. Can you tell me about them?
Yeah, so why don't we start with these right here. These are candlesticks and our Kiddush cup. And we use these to light candles to welcome in our Sabbath on Friday evening, our Shabbat observance. And then we fill this with wine or grape juice, and we have blessings that we say as we light the candles and as we drink from the Kiddush cup. And it really helps start our Shabbat observance. And while we're talking about some Shabbat things, I'm actually going to point up here. This is challah. Challah is egg bread, and it's one of the other ritual items that's connected with Shabbat. So when we welcome in on Friday night, we start by lighting the candles, and then we drink from our Kiddush cup, we drink wine, and then we say a blessing, and we eat our challah also. And these three things together really start off our weekly Sabbath observance. So Hanukkah is a holiday that we celebrate in December. So we light on Hanukkah, we celebrate for 8 days, and every night we add a candle. So by the end of the holiday, the entire Hanukkah is lit up. So this festival of light really brings light, and we celebrate together with our family and our friends this special holiday.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful.
So this is called a talit. So a talit, actually the commandment to wear a talit comes from the same part of the Torah where we have the commandment to put a mezuzah up on our door. And it's really, in English, we sometimes call it a prayer shawl. And it's really less about the part that we put over our shoulders and much more about the fringes at the bottom. So in the Torah, we are given 613 commandments that we are supposed to follow. And the way that the fringes are knotted and wrapped really connects us to all of those commandments and reminds us of our responsibility to keep them.
So Kennedy, we're here in the sanctuary, which is the central prayer space for the Jewish people here at Temple Israel. It's where we gather for religious worship services and for special life cycle events, but it's also where we house our Torah scrolls, which are the history of the Jewish people.
Who can read from the Torah?
It's different in various areas of Judaism. In a traditional or Orthodox family or community, only men read from the Torah, and only men are allowed to lead services from this podium, this bima. But here in liberal Judaism at Temple Israel, in a Reform congregation, we're open to the idea of men and women being equal. We are connected to the LGBTQ community. We're open to people of all races and colors to be a part of our Jewish community, opening up the Jewish world to so many more people.
Are there beliefs that most Jews share?
Most Jews have a simple belief in one God, but for the most part, what binds us together is our commitment and our connection to the words of this Torah scroll, to the words given by God to Moses at Mount Sinai and handed down for thousands of years of our community and our people.
What is Judaism?
Judaism is a religion, obviously, that is 5,000 years old. And it begins in the biblical narrative when we hear the story of Abraham, the first Jew. Abraham was given the opportunity by God to reject what's known as the pantheon, the idea that there are many gods in the world, and chooses to accept one relationship with one singular God.
So when someone is Jewish, what does that mean?
Being Jewish means to connect to that idea of monotheism, or the belief in one God, but it also means connecting to those 5,000 years of Jewish tradition that have been handed down from generation to generation. Much of what we believe is actually contained inside of this ark in Torah scrolls that represent the story, the history of our Jewish people. So Kennedy, we're standing here in front of the Ark of the Covenant, which is the replica of the box that held the 10 Commandments for our ancestors when they traveled through the wilderness. Today, inside this ark, we hold all of our Torah scrolls, the history of our people that I was talking about. So each of these Torah scrolls is exactly the same thing, the 5 books of Moses, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, or what you might refer to as the Old Testament.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really cool to learn about Judaism, and I had a great time.
I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you for visiting. You are welcome to come back anytime. Have a great day. Bye, Kennedy.
Bye.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Lineberger, and I'm glad I'm finally here. What a day. My mother and I have entered a family hiking challenge. All the families who enter agree to hike 10 miles in just a single weekend. 10 miles is a long way, but we don't have to do it all at one time. Anytime I'm out for a hike, I can record how far I went, and that distance counts towards our 10-mile goal. I'm gonna go stash this at the campsite. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just got finished with a long hike, and I want to figure out the total distance that my mother and I have walked. Let's see. My mother sent me a text yesterday. She hiked for 5 2/3 miles. Knowing my mom, it was probably uphill the entire time. Today, I hiked a gorgeous trail by the river, and I covered 3 3/4 miles. To figure this out, I'm going to need to add some fractions. So let's start with some easy examples before I tackle the real problem of the hiking challenge. Okay, I know that fractions have 2 parts, the numerator on top and the denominator on bottom. I also know that if the denominators are the same, adding fractions is easy because I just add the numerators together. For example, 1/4 plus 2/4 isn't hard for me to do since the denominators are the same. I just add 1 plus 2 to get 3. Put that over my denominator and my answer is 3/4. 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. Let's try another easy one. What if I had 2/5 plus 2/5? Same thing. Denominator is the same, so 2 plus 2 equals 4. The answer is 4/5. But what if the denominators are different? If that's the case, I have to make them the same and then add the numerators. If I had 1/4 and I needed to add that to 1/2, I would need to make the denominators the same. I can do that by drawing a picture. Here's a rectangle divided into 4 parts. Color one of those parts in, that's 1/4. Here's a rectangle divided into 2 parts. Color one part in, that's 1/2. But what if I divided those parts again? Now I have 4 parts and 2 of them are colored in. That means that 1/2 is the same as 2/4. Now I've got it. 1/4 plus 1/2, which is 2/4, equals 3/4. Here's another one. Imagine I'm supposed to add 2/3 and 3/4. Since the denominators are different, I'll have to create a common denominator. I'll use a picture to help me figure this out. Here's my rectangle that represents thirds. It's divided into 3 parts. I color 2 in, that's 2/3. Here's a rectangle to represent fourths. It's divided into 4 parts. I color 3 in, that shows 3/4. If I divide each block in my thirds rectangle into 4 smaller sections like this, I can now see that I have 12 sections total. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are filled in. 8/12. If I divide the sections in my other rectangle into 3 parts each, I also have 12 sections now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts are colored in. 9/12. To add 8/12 and 9/12, I keep the denominators the same and just add the numerators. 8 plus 9 is 17. So the answer is 17/12. That's a fraction greater than 1, and that's totally fine to have as an answer. I know that 12/12 is equal to 1, so if I wanted to think of this as a mixed number, I could. It would be 1 and 5/12. Let's try one last example. Imagine I have the problem of 1/2 plus 3/8. For my 1/2, I can draw a rectangle divided into 2 parts. Color one part in, that's 1/2. 3/8 is like drawing a rectangle, dividing it into 8 parts, and then coloring 3 of those in, like this. I can't just add these fractions because the denominators are different. So what if I take that 1/2 I already colored, and I keep dividing the rectangle until I have 8 parts? How many parts are colored in now? That's right. 4 parts are filled in. 1/2 is the same as 4/8. So I can rewrite my problem as 4/8 plus 3/8, and that equals 7/8. 1/2 plus 3/8 equals 7/8. I think I'm ready to tackle my hiking problem. But first, let's estimate a possible answer. I know that 2/3 is close to 1, so instead of 5 2/3 miles, I'll estimate that my mother walked 6 miles. I also know that 3/4 is close to 1, so I'll use 4 miles for myself. 6 miles added to 4 miles, that's 10 miles. Since I rounded up, I know the precise answer will be a little less than 10 miles. That's my estimate. My mother and I have walked a little less than 10 miles. Man, we almost made our goal on the first day. Okay, we need to figure out exactly how many miles we walked, so we'll know how many more we have left to do. There are a lot of ways I could solve this problem, but the way I'll choose is by finding a common denominator for my fractions. My mother hiked 5 2/3 miles. I can represent 2/3 like this, a rectangle divided into 3 parts, and I'll color 2 of them in to show 2/3. I hiked 3 3/4 miles. I'll represent 3/4 with a rectangle separated into 4 parts, and I'll color 3 of them. If I need to know the total number of miles we hiked, I can think of it this way: 5 plus 2/3 plus 3 plus 3/4. That's all the miles. My mom hiked 5 miles and also 2/3 of a mile. I hiked 3 miles and also 3/4 of a mile. 5 plus 3 is 8. So I know we hiked 8 miles plus 2/3 plus 3/4. If I partition my thirds into 4 equal pieces, I now see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 12 pieces filled in. If I separate my fourths into 3 equal pieces, I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces filled in. So that's 8/12 plus 9/12, 17/12. Together, my mother and I have hiked 8 plus 17/12 miles. That's 8 plus 12/12 plus 5/12. Do you see how I did that? I know that any fraction where the numerator equals the denominator is the whole number 1. 12/12 is the same as 1. We hiked 8 miles plus 1 mile plus 5/12 miles. We hiked 9 and 5/12 miles. How does that check out compared to my estimation? I estimated that my mother and I had hiked a little less than 10 miles. 9 and 5/12 is a little less than 10. I think we've got the right answer. I wonder, how much farther will we need to hike? 12/12 minus 5/12 is 7/12. That's slightly more than half a mile. I could do that right now. In fact, I will, as soon as this lesson's over. Today we determined that my mother and I are a good hiking team. We showed that adding mixed numbers was the same as adding whole numbers and the fractions. To add the fractions, though, we had to partition them into the same number of units, which is called finding a common denominator. And we learned that as long as the denominators are the same, the numerators can be added together. Well, time for me to get back to the trail. I'll catch you next time.
Uh-oh, friends. I just received word that Dr. Blotch is going to check in with us to see how we're doing with our creative writing challenge. I heard it involves writing a story about a superhero from your community. Get ready.
Mabel, is my superhero story done yet?
Dr. Blotch, hello. Well, I'm still working on it. Can I tell you what I have so far?
Okay, go on.
I'm thinking about creating a local superhero who has secret slime powers, because slime is very popular right now. So she can create all types of slime. She can create the glittery slime, the foamy slime, the extra sticky slime, and she can whip them up at a moment's notice, and making slime is her superpower. But then one day she notices that her arch nemesis, Dr. Super Very Evil, Dr. Super Very Evil has tried to take over the local library, and because it's empty right now because of social distancing, and she's going to somehow use her slime powers to stop him. How's that?
Okay, Mineral. I like the idea that you have with the slime, just because, it's very popular, so the book will sell. But you failed to follow my instructions. Megals, I asked for a story with very clear details about the setting, and while I appreciate that you use lots of great details about the slime, you should definitely keep those in the story. I also have no idea where the story is taking place, except that it's at an empty library. It could be anywhere.
Oh, I see. Well, Dr. Blotch, in my head, I was imagining it happening at my favorite library, the Michigan Avenue branch of the Ypsilanti District Library.
Oh, all right, Megalodon. So what are some details you could include in this library to help people know that it's at the Michigan Avenue branch of the Ypsilanti District Library?
Well, it's empty right now, of people, that is. So Dr. Super Very Evil must have snuck in. I would include details about all of the colorful books, the squeaky gold metallic front door, the scent of lots and lots of books, and maybe like the clicking of keyboard keys.
Now you're onto something, Molasses. Though I'm not sure how the keyboards are clicking without anybody there. Perhaps that's the power of Dr. Super Very Evil? Mediocre. Goodbye.
Bye, Dr. Blotch.
Hello, my name is Venkatesh Holabi. I am from the Hindu community based in Canton. Hinduism is the third largest religion in the world with over 1.2 billion members. So within Michigan, we are a growing community. Right here in the Hindu Temple of Canton, we are serving over 6,000 members. Today we have Kennedy as our special guest. We are going to take her through some aspects of Hindu religion. You know, Hinduism is one of the most ancient religions of the world, and I'm very excited for Kennedy to learn a few things about it. Namaste. This greeting is a traditional Hindu greeting. When you fold hands, it is symbolizing that oneness, that the divinity in me is the same divinity in you. We have a lot planned for you today, Kennedy. Come on in. We'll show you. Namaste. You can do namaste.
What is the most important thing for non-Hindus to know about your faith?
There's a lot of misconception about Hinduism that we worship many gods. However, it is important to know for non-Hindus that Hinduism is monotheistic. Hindus believe that there is one absolute aspect of God called Brahman, worshipped through many forms to facilitate what we call as freedom of worship and freedom from worship. Hindus believe that God is one and the paths to reach Him are many.
Are there any Hindu beliefs that are the most important?
Karma and dharma are the most important aspects of Hinduism. So the doctrine of karma provides this basis for reincarnation in the Hindu belief. Dharma typically means that which holds together, that which integrates, holds the entire society together. Mainly, worship is for the purification of the mind. When we worship Goddess Durga during this time, we say to remove all our negative tendencies. Each of these murtis represent an ideal behind that idol. Lord Rama came down to this earth to show human beings how to be an ideal human being in all aspects of our lives.
I think something unique about all Indian classical art forms is that it's a way to celebrate culture while also kind of helping us learn more about our religion. And if you see with any Indian festival, it's a celebration of traditions, and it's also very intertwined with any sort of religious festival. So for example, through dance, I can depict stories of Hindu gods and goddesses, and also you can kind of depict different emotions through dance. So I think that's something that's really unique and something I enjoy.
So when I'm dancing, I obviously think about the next step, but also the expression that I want to put on my face to make sure it comes across clearly.
Do you have a favorite dance move?
Yeah, so I have a few, but one of my particular favorites is the jumping step. So you jump on your toes and you just drop your feet like this, and you keep doing it like that.
Can you teach me?
Yeah, sure. So first, spread your feet out in a semi-V shape, and then you bend at your knees a little bit, and then you jump on your toes, and then just drop it. Yeah.
And if you notice, when we're doing all of our dances, you can hear the bells with each of our steps, and that's because Bharatanatyam, which is the South Indian classical dance form that we do, it's comprised of a lot of footwork, so when we're moving, you could kind of hear our feet with the sound of the bells.
Do you wear a sari every time you go to the temple?
Yes, traditionally when we go to the temple, we do wear a sari with respect to the place of worship.
What is this small dot that many Hindus wear?
This is called a bindi. Traditionally, it used to be customary for Indian married women to wear it. In modern times, it has become like a fashion accessory. Before it used to be just red. Now it goes the color of the outfit. And we wear it here in between the eyebrows to focus on the intellect.
What is your favorite thing about being Hindu?
The belief system that everyone is equal, everyone is one, regardless of their physical form, and also the belief that we want to give back more than we take.
I hope you had a good time learning about a thing or two about Hindu culture. Come again some Sunday, okay?
Okay, I will.
Bye.
Our theme for today is around the world. I'm enjoying meeting people with different backgrounds. Somewhere I'd like to visit one day is South Africa. They have just the most beautiful wildlife. You might even get a chance to drive by an elephant. Can you believe that? An elephant! Where would you like to go? While you think about it, let's take a trip to Australia, where our friend Joe will teach us how to draw a koala.
One of Australia's most adorable animals is the koala. We're going to learn how to draw a koala right now, and we're going to give him a friend as well. Let's draw. We're going to start with the eyes. The eyes are an oval. And right next to that, we draw another oval. Next, add the little dots in the eyes, the pupils. Just like that. Now the nose is a triangle shape, but we're not going to have points on the ends of our triangles. We're going to sort of round them off a little bit. See? A rounded triangle. Now we're inside of that triangle. We're going to add another oval at a slight slant. And then we want to color in all around that, leaving that little bit of white space for a reflection on the nose. Go ahead and fill that all the way in. Very good. Now for the mouth. We have a letter J and a dash. Letter J backwards and a dash. and then just a little line right underneath her lower lip. For the eyebrows, 1, 2, 1, 2. On the top of the head, we're going to add a little bit of hair. It looks like this. Now we're going to draw the head, but we want to be able to show that there's a texture. Texture is how something feels when you touch it. A tree, the bark might feel very rough. Paper might feel very smooth. We want this texture to look like fur, so that if you were to touch the koala, it would feel like a soft fur. The way we create texture is with our lines. So our line is going to go sort of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to give a little bit of a fur texture to it. It looks like this. We're going to come down a little bit, back and forth. And then on this side, come all the way around, back and forth, back and forth. Keep going around, and we'll stop right about there. Now we're going to add the ear. Come out, keep that texture going. Down, a little zigzag, and bring that back up. All the way in. Now for the cheeks, same thing, keep that fuzzy little texture going there. And then the inner part of the ear looks like this. A little more rounded texture to it. That makes it look a little bit softer. Now for the body, arms and legs. Starting right up here, we come down, round, keep going, around, and that's going to form the lower leg. Now for the arm, it's the same kind of shape. Out, around, and in. Now we're going to make our koala up in a tree. The koalas spend a lot of their time in eucalyptus trees because they eat eucalyptus, but they also spend a lot of time in that tree sleeping, up to 18 hours a day. So we're going to add a eucalyptus tree. We're going to start with a line right up, not quite at the top of the page, just a little bit down, right to the cheek, and then an imaginary line through the arm, and then from the arm to the leg, and the rest of the way down off the page. Starting right at that same spot, come down, leave a little space there, down, leave a little space there, down, and leave one last space. Good. Those spaces, we're going to add the other arm curled around, hugging that tree. Same thing here. Curled around, hugging the tree. And this last one, we're going to add a branch, but we're going to save that for just a little bit later. We have a little line connecting the tree to the cheek to finish the body. And then we add paws. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The other ear goes right here. A line from the head to the tree, all the way around, down, zigzag, and up. And then add that inner ear right like that. Now for the top of the tree, we're going to add some foliage. Foliage is just another word for all the leaves. And we can add a little bit of texture to that too by adding some letter V's that'll look like leaves. Now let's add some texture to the tree bark. I love drawing tree bark. It's just these quick little lines like this. One of the fun things you can do is you can hide your name in the tree bark. There's my name, Joe Woes, Joewos. Now right here is where we're going to add that branch. Because we're going to give him a friend. We're going to give him a little kookaburra friend. Kookaburra is a bird from Australia. We're going to start with the beak. Come out, point, in, and up to form a triangle. Now for the head, come up. We're going to add a feather texture this time. And then down, over, and up. Sort of a square or rectangular shape, isn't it? We're going to get a little line on the beak like this to form the mouth. Now for the eye. Come out, around, in, and connect. Sort of a walnut or lemon shape to it. And then we add in a circle, and then a pupil. Then I want you to color in all around the eye, just like this. Color it all the way in. Fill that in completely. Very good. Now for the wing. Wing's very simple, sort of a letter V. Now we're going to add the claws or talons, the feet that are holding onto the branch. It looks like this. Down, around, up, down, around, in. Down, around, up, down, around, and up. Now we've got to continue the branch right to the claws, and then through, out, add a letter V, and in. Add a little bit of texture to the branch too. Let's add a couple of leaves. 1, 2, maybe 3. And then the tail feather is just a letter W. We can use a W to add some feathers for the texture as well. You're all done. That is your koala and your kookaburra. Be sure to sign your name, take pride in your work. We've had a lot of fun, but now it's time to draw to a close. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Mary Madikoya. My mom and I will be making jollof rice. Jollof rice. So I just like the way you make it. When I make it, it's just so different. To get to someone's heart, prepare jollof rice. Jollof rice is similar to jambalaya. I remember growing up in Nigeria, it's the only food we eat on occasions. It's not something we eat every day. You eat it on weddings. So when you hear birthday party, you're so happy that you're gonna eat jollof rice. It's a special meal. I remember growing up, to me, it's like the only special meal. The only day you get to eat jollof rice is maybe on Christmas. In the jollof rice, there is the habanero pepper, which is really spicy.
Red pepper, tomato, garlic,
onions, and Maggi,
thyme, and butter.
Curry, garlic, ginger. We're gonna get the meat cooking. You wanna boil it, you save the meat broth, pour inside the soup. Also cook the pepper. You wanna boil it, then pour the tomato paste, the tomato puree, and have it cooked all together. At that point, you really know you're making jollof, right? Because you begin to smell the tomatoes, the meat broth, the spices.
No, I am excited. Like it actually tastes good. Like it tastes like the real deal.
That's where the magic happens. You also want to wash the rice. We usually put salt to wash our rice because it helps wash the starch out. Then you want to put the rice in the warm pot. While the rice is cooking, you want to lower the stove, cover it to let it steam.
My name is Rizzi Katz. I'm coming from Nigeria. I miss my people. Born in Buffalo, the people living in Buffalo, they have love.
I was gonna leave after college, but since I've been here, I'm like, this place is it's nice. My mom goes to school, she works, and she also sews on the side, and she loves it. That's another part. When I see her sew, I'm like, this woman, anyway, she loves sewing, so she does it all. My mom would never give you food without meat on it. You do not give people food without any type of meat. Very disrespectful. Okay. Like, very, very disrespectful. My mom's jollof rice, to be honest, I've never tasted anything like that. She may not necessarily have all the ingredients she would use in Nigeria, but she still finds a way to find every piece that she could get here. Like, when I eat it, I still feel that warmth, like, you know, that mother kind of touch, you know? It's just...
Welcome to InPACT at Home, where we practice interrupting prolonged sitting with activity. I'm Michelle Van Dyne, and I'm here to help you get moving for the next 8 minutes. You'll be surprised at what these moments of movement can do for you and the rest of your family so that you can stay active and healthy at home. So go ahead, get up, and let's start moving. For this movement activity, we're going to be doing some jump roping. If you don't have a jump rope, that's okay. For our warm-up, if you do have a jump rope, we're going to put it down and we're going to run around it. We're just jogging, getting our heart rate up, getting our legs loose. Could even do some fancy stuff like this. But we're going around that jump rope for 30 seconds. Nice job. We get ourselves a little dizzy here too. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, since jumping involves a lot of calf muscles, we're gonna stretch them. So get into a plank position. I just want you to switch, raising your heels. So a calf stretch. You can hold it, should feel really nice. Loosen up those calf muscles. I could do this the whole time. This is great. Keep switching them, hold it for a little bit longer if it feels a little bit tight. We're gonna keep this for 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's get into our basic jumps. So first one is called a basic bounce. If you don't have a jump rope, all you're gonna do is jump up and down on 2 feet. And you can even pretend to have a jump rope, right? So this is our modified version. If you're not good at jump roping, just do this. If you have a jump rope and you wanna try the basic bounce, pick it up, it's right behind you, and just little jumps. You can go nice and slow. You can go a little bit faster, like a speed jump. It's up to you. If you make a mistake, if it gets caught on your foot, just put it in the back and try it again. Okay, so light on your feet, little jumps. You're doing great. Again, if you don't have a jump rope, then just pretend with your hands. Oops, again, if you make a mistake, we're all human, it's fine. You're still out there working hard. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, sneak one more in there. 1. All right, the next one is a single-legged hop. If you don't have the jump rope, you're gonna choose a foot, balance on it. You're just gonna jump up and down, right? And you're gonna feel this right away in that calf muscle that we just stretched, right? Nice and easy. Okay, if you have your jump rope, open it up, and same leg, just jump on that. Try to land on the ball of your feet so you're not doing these big plunk jumps, okay? And we're gonna switch. So whatever foot you were not jumping on, use the other one. Nice little jumps. Again, you can pretend to have a jump rope in your hand. Again, very small, land on the ball of your feet. If you have a jump rope, you should already be jumping on that foot. Okay, and you might be better at one foot than the other, depending on if you're left-footed or if you are right-footed. Okay, I'm gonna go back to no jump rope for a minute and just nice and easy. Okay, for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're gonna take a quick breather once you stretch your quads. So pick up one foot, hold it, take some deep breaths. Let your heart rate come down a little bit. You're working really hard. We're gonna switch legs. Another deep breath. Find your balance. If you can't find your balance, then just try again. Take a real quick drink of water and get ready to go back into it. If you need to stretch out your calf muscles, you can kind of stretch them out this way as well. All right, our next jump is called the skier. If you don't have a jump rope, that's fine. We're gonna go side to side. So pretend you have your skiing poles, jump, jump, side to side. If jumping is hard for you, you can just walk it out and you add those arms, just push them right back. If you have your jump rope, then you're gonna jump left to right, laterally, right? So jump to the side, whoops, and again, you're not perfect. You can make mistakes. Just keep trying. Your legs are probably tired at this point anyway. If they get caught on your ponytail, that's fine too. Here we go. Just gotta find your rhythm. There you go. Side to side. All right. Keep going a couple more. If you're back in that walking stage, and pretend you have that rope, or back in that hopping. We'll stay here for a couple more seconds, and we'll move on to the next one. Great job, everyone. Push through it. This is a huge leg workout. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next one is called the scissors jump. With the jump rope, might be a little tricky. Remember, you can always do it without one. So, one foot in front of the other, you're going to jump and switch, 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 switch. Add in your hands, just like this, right? If you want to go faster, burn a little bit more energy, burn some more calories, that's fine. Now, with the jump rope, looks something like this. I would start in your basic bounce and then switch to your scissors jump. Okay, get that rhythm before you try it with the jump rope. Okay, great job. You're doing great. Keep it going. Remember to breathe. You're almost done. If your legs get too tired, take out that jump rope. Go back to slower jumps. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breath. All right, before we just stop, we're just gonna tap our legs side to side. Take some deep breaths. That was not easy. And you guys did fantastic. We'll go back into those calf stretches, since they should be on fire at this point. Make sure your hands are below your shoulders, as mine were not. We're gonna hold it for 3 seconds, switch it, and come up. Great job. I hope you enjoyed today's movement break. InPACT at Home is a chance to apply the skills that you may have learned in your PE class to improve your health. To learn more about the health benefits associated with daily movement, visit impactathome.umich.edu. Now, don't forget to fill out your daily log. We will see you again during our next workout.
I'm a resettlement officer for UNHCR. UNHCR is a United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. It's a refugee agency to the UN. I help the most vulnerable refugees to be resettled in a third country where they can enjoy long-term safety and security. The one skill that girls need to develop to work in the humanitarian assistance is empathy. It's also part of the emotional intelligence, understanding where the other person is coming from. Compassion is the other skill that you need to develop. It's the feeling of care, feeling of love, feeling of helping other people who are less fortunate or who are suffering to alleviate their the problems that they're having. Always make smart decisions, smart choices. You will be facing this throughout your life. Always make sure that it is getting you closer to achieving your goals. I enjoyed working in the humanitarian assistance work because I love helping people, and I like seeing people's life changing, finding solutions for problems, and it's also coming in my overall goal because I hope at some point I'll be in the policy making team to find solutions for all these conflicts that are happening globally.
Hi, my name is Merlin Shapwey, and welcome to the Detroit Institute of Arts. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some objects from our Mesoamerican galleries. When we say Mesoamerica, we're talking about different parts of Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras, which you can see right here. We'll also show you an art project you can do at home. I want you to take a look at this piece right here. What kind of animal does it look like to you? It's a snake, a serpent. Serpents like this one were very important to Mesoamerican culture. It was believed that snakes were how objects like the sun and the moon were able to move across the sky. And it was believed that snakes symbolized rebirth and renewal when they shed their skin. This is made out of clay. We call these ceramics. They could often be used as gifts or everyday objects. You have ceramics in your own home. You know that coffee mug, that cereal bowl? They're ceramics too. They would paint these all sorts of different colors, like yellows, reds, oranges, or in some cases, a special blue color. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. That means that this snake here wasn't just this brown color, but was probably painted all sorts of bright colors. Use your imagination. Can you see them? Sometimes they would mix the ash from volcanoes into the clay to make it even stronger. Pretty cool, huh? Do you want to make some art? Do you want to make your own snake sculpture? Coming up next, we have our studio staff who will be showing you an art project you can do right at home. Enjoy!
Today we'll be making a spiral snake with materials you may have at home. You will need either a paper plate, piece of paper, or a folder, scissors, string such as fishing line, ribbon, or yarn, tape, and ways to decorate, such as markers and crayons. Optionally, you can use paint. Start by choosing your background material. If you choose paper or a folder, trace it and cut it out. I'll be using a paper plate. Decide if you want to decorate before or after you cut out your snake. If you are using paint, it can be easier to paint the plates before you cut it out. This is a great choice if you're not worried about creating a detailed pattern. For this example, I'll use paint on the bottom and I'll draw on the top. Next, draw your snake on the plate. If you start by drawing the head in the middle and work your way outwards, when you're all done, the head will be at the top and the tail will hang downwards. If you draw the head of the snake on the outside, it will hang downwards, suspended by the tail. It's up to you. Now it's time to decorate. You can draw a pattern, pictures, words, a message, whatever you like. For this snake, I'll draw a pattern using the letter S because the word snake starts with an S. After that, color it in, and don't forget the back. Next, Follow the guidelines and cut it out. Now let's add a tongue. You can cut out a tongue with a separate piece of paper, or you can cut off the end of the tail and cut it into the shape of a snake's tongue, and then decorate it and tape it onto the back. Now let's add the string. I'll be using a piece of fishing line, but you can use whatever type of string you like. Take your string, add some tape, and then tape it to the back of the snake's head so that the string comes out right between the head and the body. Congratulations!
Wow, friends! You know what? We've traveled around the world and didn't even have to leave our homes. I really enjoyed learning about Hinduism. What was your favorite part of the show? Until next time.
On the next episode of Extra Credit, we build our own straw rockets, learn about space food, and make our own comics. Get your extra credit on the Michigan Learning Channel.
This program is made possible in part by Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and by viewers like you.